So cat-cow, if you've ever done any yoga, this will be really, really familiar to you. Just going to come onto the side to show you and a few pointers. So by the way, if you have a toddler and you're down on the floor, you are fair game. They'll want to get on you. So if you're watching this and you're recovering from a Caesarean birth, well, my God, power to you. But you must get support and rest as much as you can. And just bear in mind that when you're on the floor, they might want to jump at you. It's hard. You're doing brilliantly, whatever. Okay, so walk your hands forward. Just making sure that you can see me. So your hands are going to be directly underneath your shoulders. So this means you've got an alignment from the shoulder to the wrist. Now, if you happen to be hypermobile, maybe you don't know, a gentle bend in the elbows helps, just so you're not locking your arms out. Right, so I call these big wide open yoga hands. You stretch your hands really wide and you imprint each finger into the mat. So feel your own upper body strength. It's really common, postnatal pain. Okay, another thing that we have to endure. So if this is too much for you, make fists and come up on your fists. If that's too much for you, you can always come down on your elbows. Right. In my regular weekly Vibrant Woman class, we do a lot of this sort of work and it goes into a flow. So the knees are directly underneath the hips, so not too wide. Usually women, I have to adjust them. That's shoulder width, that's hip width. It's quite narrow. Okay, so we're on all fours. And when you're here, I want you to think about lengthening the tailbone towards your heels. Okay, it's very, very subtle. So what you're not doing is arching the back yet. We're not tucking the tailbone under, arching the back yet. I want you to feel a sense of alignment from the crown of your head all the way to the tailbone. And this is an energy line, which is really, really important for your healing. Making sure that all your chakras, okay, your energy centers are open, balanced and flowing. Okay, so if you just lift the lower belly in and up towards the spine, and believe me, that's a big move. Okay, so don't be alarmed if you can't feel anything. The intention of lifting and drawing the lower belly in and up comes from the inside of an internal power, an internal lift. So you're not like sucking your belly in, it's just a gentle lift in and up. Okay, so we're going to inhale and release your belly down towards the floor and your sit bones sort of shine behind you and you look up, not too far. So you're in this sort of hammock, yeah? So stay there, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, think about that internal lift from the pelvic floor, lifting from the pelvic floor up to the belly button. And then exhale. And as you exhale, just maintain some energy through the belly and then back to the middle. So let's do that again. Rest if you need to. There's a lot going on. So inhale, release the belly. And then as you exhale, think about the energy being drawn up through the vagina, all the way up to the belly button and up to the crown of the head. I've just adjusted my head a little bit, just to make my head in alignment with the spine. But from here, you can do lots of different movements. You can look over your shoulder, look over the right shoulder, look over the left shoulder, and swing your bottom from side to side. Just try that and see how it feels, but never, ever force. And always rest. And I'm going to show you how to rest from here. You're going to sit back in pose of a child. Okay, if you've got a bigger belly, then this might not be comfortable. So it's really nice to put a cushion between your legs and your belly, and you can release down into pose of a child. So this is extended pose of a child with my hands above and stretching forward. And this is traditional pose of a child, where you drop your head down and your arms are by the side. I'm going to reach for a block because the block will lift the earth up to me because my head doesn't reach. So everything's supported. And you can stay there if it feels comfortable for a number of breaths. If that is not comfortable, use the sofa. Okay, so coming forward, just want to show you, so you've got different ideas, you know, where to do these exercises, because you can do standing cat-cow, which I'll show you. So you can relax here and just make sure that your head is resting on the sofa. But always making sure that you're supporting your belly and that you feel nurtured and held down there. So even two of those cats, okay, with, cow belly that is, even two of those with the breath can feel really, really intense. So now we're going to tuck the tailbone under, drop the head, so you're looking towards your belly, looking towards where your baby was born, tucking the tailbone under, and again thinking about that internal lift from the pelvic floor, sucking your spaghetti up through your vagina all the way up to the crown of the head. Now don't forget to breathe, relax the shoulders, gentle smile, and then release. So you can alternate between cow, that's the in-breath, and then as you exhale, you're emptying the breath out, tucking your tailbone under and pulling the belly in towards the spine. Think about that internal lift. That's the exhale. So inhale. Looking up, pulling the shoulders away from the ears, so don't hunch your shoulders, and then exhale, tuck your tailbone under, pull belly in towards the spine, and then back to centre, and then rest. So bring your weight back and drop down. Remember the cushion, remember blocks. Okay, so I've actually raised that block up higher and it can that feels a little bit better. And some long deep breaths in and out. So when you're ready to come up, move things out of the way, press the hands into the floor and press yourself up with breath. So I'll show you standing cat-cow because it's a really, really nice thing to do. And you can't always drop to your knees in the supermarket. But when you're in the supermarket, you can do all sorts of stuff, all sorts of little nuances. So, I call it, while you're at it, you might as well yoga. So tuck your toes under, breathe in, exhale, press the weight back into the feet, drop your head and have a little shimmy on the way up. So you do that a number of times a day and you will gain strength very, very quickly. So standing cat-cow, I'll stand to the side. Just my leggings. Okay, so what we're doing is tilting the pelvis. I'm just going to tuck these in so you can see them properly. So we're tilting the pelvis forward and then back. Okay, so the pubic bone is coming up and you're shortening the space between the pubic bone and the belly button. So think about that, that's gathering everything in. And then as you tip back, you're extending, you're stretching. So it's a really small, subtle movement. You inhale, so the pelvic floor releases here. And then as you exhale, you tuck your tailbone under and draw all the energy in towards the midline. Inhale and exhale. So try that, very subtle movement, and then you can start to bring in more movement. That's a good look, isn't it? More movement with the with your chest and your head. Okay, so I'm standing to the side so you can see. So inhale, So it's like you're sticking your bottom out behind you, looking up, and then exhale. Draw a line with your nose in front of you and then look towards your belly. So you inhale, looking up. The back arches, and then exhale and tuck under. And it's really nice to get your hands on your body as well. So inhale, shine the heart center up, and then exhale, tuck the tailbone under. My legs remain soft but strong. So you've got this breath, you've got this movement, you've got this acceptance and this gratitude for your body. Every time you look down, you say thank you. Inhale, looking up. And exhale. Down. And then at the end, just have a little shimmy. There's always shimmies to be had. And also hip circles. I'll do a whole video on hip circles. That's cat cow.